But the Māori Party, Te Pāti Māori, their MPs, the two co-leaders and their other MP are due today at the Privileges Committee. When I say today, due at 10 o'clock this morning at the Privileges Committee. Whether they'll front or not has been in question, because they've said no, they're not coming. Now, they may well, in fact, turn up today at 10 o'clock and surprise, but who knows what sort of surprise they would bring when they turn up at 10 o'clock. There'll be something there, won't there? But they may not even show up at all, because they've said that until now, they haven't confirmed whether they'll show. So, what does it mean? How unprecedented would that be? And, I reckon if they don't show, dock their pay, kick them out of Parliament and say, you're welcome back, but you've got to join the processes and turn up. And when we ask you to turn up, you front up like Penny Henare did from the Labour Party. He showed up, took his punishment, went back to Parliament and said sorry. That's how you do it. Former senior MP Stuart Nash has seen all this sort of stuff before and joins us now. Stu, g'day, nice to have you on the program.
Duncan, how are you, mate? It seems like old Sean has more holidays than not. You were standing up for him for quite a long time just recently, mate.
Yeah. Where is he? No, he works hard, mate.
God knows.
He's on here and runs the show.
I know that. He does.
Hey, maybe he's out there looking for the Māori Party. What do you think should happen if they don't show up today?
Look, I think this is outrageous, mate. I really do. Look, Parliament, it's really important to have rules and processes in place. Part of the reason for that, or the main reason for that, is so that the public can actually have confidence that this is a well-run organisation, it's a well-run House of Representatives, and that people are obeying the rules. My real concern about the antics of the Māori Party at the moment, and the Greens, but we've talked about it in the previous, is that it's slowly eroding Kiwis' trust in the institution. And when Kiwis begin to lose trust in Parliament, they become disenfranchised from the voting process and so on and so forth. I think this is outrageous, I really do. Now, people break rules. As you mentioned, Penny Henare turned up over my time. Various people were sent to the Privilege Committee for breaches of the rules. It's a Privilege Committee is not a government-led committee. It is a cross-party of senior MPs who determine if a certain member of Parliament has broken the rules. If they have, then they melt out punishment. If they haven't, then back to the chamber. But it is the process parliamentarians use to keep order in the House, and also to ensure that the integrity of the place is upheld as well.
Yeah, and that's a good explanation too, I reckon. And so these guys have failed to follow the processes, and then failed to follow the process of potential punishment as well. That to me is just thumbing your nose at the very system that's paying you. I reckon they should be. I mean, if they don't turn up today, kick them out, dock their pay. I mean, if it's such a powerful privileges committee, what do you do?
You dock their pay. You name them. You say you're not allowed back in Parliament until you're front. These are the rules. It's like you caught speeding, right? And you say, bugger this, I'm not turning up. I'm allowed to speed. Well, no, you're not. There are rules in place for a certain reason. So it accelerates to the point where you're thrown in jail, or you just can't. Well, not that I'm suggesting the Māori Party be thrown in jail. That's a bad analogy. My point is there are rules in place for a reason, right? You just cannot behave badly or in a way that's unparliamentary or in a way that that impinges on the integrity of the House. As mentioned, it's already a little bit of a joke. I mean, I find the clothes that Rawiri wears in the chamber hugely disrespectful. What a lot of people don't know, Dunk, is in the debating chamber, which is where these rules were broken, all around the walls there are the carved wooden plaques of the names of the battles that Kiwis fought and died in to maintain and enhance democracy. It's a really important part of our democracy. It's where you're allowed to say things that you cannot get sued for. It's where you hold people to account. It's where the government's held to account. And it's where, obviously, laws are passed. It is. I have an immense amount of respect for it. I think, and Trevor Mallard started this, the slow erosion of respect for the chamber has a really chilling effect. I mean, when I started, men had to wear a tie. And I still think that's the case. Trevor said, no, you don't have to wear a tie, so you get Rawiri turning up looking like he's off to a Hawaiian party. I think that's disgraceful. The Greens dress similarly. You'll find most in National and Labour dress as they always have. But, you start thumbing your nose at the Privileges Committee, then it is a really, really bad look, not only for the Māori Party, but I also think for democracy and for our Parliament.
Well, I suppose that, I mean, the rules get loosened, and then they get loosened further, and then suddenly the boundaries get widened, and then there are no boundaries. And I think the Te Pāti Māori have come at it that way. I wonder if they're just professional activists and professional separatists, and even if they do show up today, Stu, to this to this hearing, there'll be some curveball that they'll throw into it. They'll turn up and there'll be something happen. There'll be some stunt, because that's how they play the game.
Well, the fringe elements of our society are getting more and more airtime these days. And again, you look at the antics of the Greens as an example, or Tamitha Paul around defunding the police. And there is an element who believe that what the Māori Party are doing is right, and they support them. But that is not the majority, and we can't allow fringe elements of society to dictate what happens. I think the vast majority of Kiwis, it doesn't matter where they're from, it doesn't matter if they're Māori, Pacifica, Pakeha, Asian, where they're from, they want to see the dignity of Parliament maintained. They want to know that when a member of Parliament breaks the rules, they are held to account. As mentioned, there'll be a noisy fringe who'll go, no, the Māori Party are, this is anti-colonisation, all that sort of rubbish. That's not the case. This is the Parliament. And I look at, and I've used this example before, so bear with me. So, the Green Party, for example, had immense respect for Rod Donald and Jeanette Fitzsimons. They started a movement because they believed they could achieve a greater level of change operating within the system than they could without. And so they started the Green Party, and they were very effective at holding various governments of National and Labour to account for their environmental performance. So there are those who believe that working within the system is the best way to do it. Tiriana Turia was the same. Peter Sharples was the same. These were senior statesmen, senior politicians who believed that it's better for Maori, the outcomes would be better if they worked within the system. And they, by and large, did a good job. By and large, didn't agree with everything they said or did, but that's part of the course in politics. These guys, however, have I think, sort of queered the pitch from where the Māori Party started out. They were activists in a way, but they operated within the system. What these guys are doing now is trying to operate outside the system, and that never works.
Well, I think it's well put. They have always been an activist group, because that's what Tariana Turia came from. But in saying that, she played within the rules. These guys, they are professional TikTokers in many ways, and it seems to me, and you're right about the way that Waititi dresses as well. I mean, he wears basketball boots and sunglasses into Parliament. When was that acceptable?
And a shirt, and never wears a tie. I mean, and gets away with it. But the thing is that Tiriana and Peter, sure, they were activists in the sense that they believed that a Māori Party, you could achieve more with Te Pāti Māori within the system as opposed to within Labour or National, wherever they came from. And by and large, they did. They went into coalition with National, and they achieved some stuff there. These guys aren't interested in that. All these guys are doing is upending the system, or trying to upend the system, or they believe that's the best way to do it. It is not the best way to do it at all. And I would argue that they're actually doing their constituency more harm than good, because what they're now seen as is a very radical party who struggles to work within the system and therefore get anything done.